Hello everyone, Jose J. Garcia with Garcia Home University here. So another question, another answer. What is the biggest difference between a rental and a rent to own? That's a good question. And I have a couple videos on my YouTube here already where I think I go in pretty good depth into those. So definitely scroll through, check those out. I'm sure I answer some stuff there that I might not talk on here. But biggest difference. I like this question because I wanted to touch spaces on a little bit into that itself, and I think it's part of some of the answers that I've given maybe in the previous videos or some of the way people consider them and I'm talking about rentals. I think rentals is starting to grow this little slight stigma. Don't do that. You don't want to deal with tenants. And, I always say there is no bad exit strategy when it comes to mobile homes as if it's making you money. The only thing that changes is the responsibility. And regardless of who may be the buyer, who may be the tenant, it falls back on you because you allow them there. You are the one to pre-screen them, whether you let the park do it or not. I have my own system I run, and I want to make sure that I do a thorough background on any and everybody that's going to purchase from me or is going to live in my home, especially if it's going to live there, right? This is your investment. Protect it, okay? That being said, the biggest difference between the two is really, one is long-term, one is short-term. By that I mean, okay, technically a rental, as long as it's being rented, as long as they're paying you money, it's going to continue to do that for however as long as you keep it there. Whether versus an RTO, finance, whatever you want to call them, different names are all the same thing as you are financing for somebody. You created that option and you're a bank now, okay? That one there will have an X amount of time, but it does have a time where it ends. So at one point that home will be theirs. They will not owe you anything more, seeing that they fulfill that agreement, of course. But again, what changes overall here is the responsibility. You see, when you have a rental, you are a landlord. Anything that breaks, anything that you with the home, including insurance, etc., that is on you. You have to pay that. So you have to keep it up, if you will, and you need to. If it's going to be a rental for ongoing, it is up to you to keep it up. Because one thing about mobile homes, and this could be similar to in real estate, is once something breaks, a problem doesn't get better with time. It just keeps getting worse. Let's take a leak, for instance. If there's a leak under the sink, the more it leaks, the worse it gets. So you have to keep in that. And being a landlord, sometimes you have to come into these properties and check them out. And that should be in part of your agreement, that once a month, once every couple weeks, or upon whenever you decide you want to come in and check, make sure everything is working properly, you can do so. Because a lot of times these renters may not care so much for that little bitty leak. And that's where I'm getting at with some of this responsibility as being a landlord. That's one more thing that, and a homeowner, and this could be an owner of anything. Anybody that's paying to own something is going to take care of that just a little bit more or a lot more. It just depends, right? So in the same way, you have this mentality of it's not mine. I don't care about it. I'm just here for a short time or just for a little while. Well, they're going to take care of this property in this case like that. So you don't want that. And that's why I ventured away from. Now, I had great tenants. I screened them left and right, and I can't think of but a couple maybe that really gave me headaches. And that comes with part of. It is said that in a home, stick-built, things break. And in a mobile home, they break just a little bit more. So when you think of renting these things, understand that these things are going to break a little bit more. So just, are you willing to do that? Nothing wrong with it if you have the right setup. If you have handyman in the park, for instance, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. It is passive income for years to come. Go at it, by all means. I prefer rent-to-owns finance because I like to know that, one, somebody's going to own this home one day, and two, it is less headaches for me. I don't have time to play landlord. So when something breaks, as any homeowner, if you have a home, regardless if it's a mobile home or a stick-built right now, if anything breaks and you're paying for the home, unless you have some special stipulations, anything that breaks, it's on you. So in the same way here, I'm not giving them a broken down home. But, the home is presentable, it's livable when they get it. And in between that time from in the agreement or even past tense, it is their responsibility to fix anything that is broken. So that's one reason, is that responsibility. I don't care for it. I'm not a landlord. I don't have time for it. I would say those are the main two reasons. It's definitely the responsibility. Now, that does not mean you have no responsibility. One of the biggest responsibilities that you have is making sure that your tenant or your resident is paying on time. And just because you sold it doesn't mean that they might not default. And they could be even harder sometimes. Yes, they put a large down payment, which that is a plus. One, you get your money quicker. Two, the more money they put down, obviously shows how much more responsible they are. And I always tell my students, investors, that hey, if you're doing a rent to own, get the biggest down payment as possible for two reasons. One, it secures them there, and you know that somebody that puts more money is less likely to just up and bounce somewhere, right? And two, it makes it a win-win. Less time that you have to finance for, and I'll let them know, the more money you put down, the more money that goes towards the home. This is not money that you just coughing up and you still have to pay. And you have to make them understand that. A lot of these times, many of these first-time buyers are first-time buyers. They don't understand exactly how it works. Be on coaching mode. I tell people that all the time. You're always coaching somebody. I've had to walk to the tax assessor's office, DMV, and spend half an hour coaching people that were supposed to know what they were doing. They did after the fact, but it's just the way it is. And sometimes in this business, that's what you got to do. So, hope that answers that question. I wanted to toss that. I also wanted to mention something, and I want to start advertising it now. Okay, something that I've been thinking on doing quite a while, and I've done it more myself. I know we did one event with my son, and that was go feed homeless people. You got to give back somehow. Too many times you overhear, well, I don't have money to give back. I don't have this, I don't have that. And that is just a deficiency within your mind. You can give back in many ways. Okay, one, you can give time. Time is not something you give back, but if that's all you have to give, then give it up. Give some time for somebody. Maybe coach somebody, teach somebody to know something that you know that they don't, that'll help them. This event that I'm putting together, I want to do it maybe once every other month, maybe once a month. I don't know yet, but that is going to feed homeless people downtown Atlanta. I'm going to invite all my students, any investors, anybody that wants to join me. We're going to pick one day, one Saturday morning, where we go out there. And the way I have done it is I just buy a ton of brown bags, kind of like going back to school, lunch bags. Buy a ton of loaf of breads, peanut butter or ham or whatever, and basically we just put these together. We include a fruit, whether it's an apple, an orange, and a water. Something that small can go a long way. And the people who have not ate in days, I don't have to give specifics in that. There are some people less fortunate than we are. So it is up to us to give back. Anybody that wants to join me, I will actually be posting a couple ads on here to advertise on that. Give what you can. If you want to go out there, like I said, and just be part of the event, awesome. It'll be a couple hours on a Saturday morning, right before noon possibly. And it's just that feeling, that blessing of being able to give back. So it does not mean you always have to give money. But all right, I advertise for that. Like I said, I just wanted to talk on that, being I am thinking on it, and I'm kind of putting it together. So till next time, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you find these videos productive, and stay tuned for our coaching. All right, thank you for watching.